NFL Week 7 begins now. Let's talk a little football. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and we're back to talk some more pigskin. That's right, Week 7 is already here. Technically, it already started on Thursday Night Football, and I am really frustrated from it. That's for sure. We went 0-2 on the two half-unit plays. We'll talk about it in the recap in a bit, but man, oh man, was that absolutely ugly, and a blowout cost us another win, but it is what it is. So quick reminders for the channel. NFL player props video will be out Friday night like usual, and then we will have our first Sunday Night Football best bets video on its own. That will be out the first half of Sunday, so be sure to stay tuned for that. We're excited to do that. Unfortunately, this weekend, it's Jets at Steelers, but you know what? We'll go find some winners and give you a preview of that game. So no NHL video for Friday. Karan got busy, and he'll drop some bets in the Discord, on X, and on the community tab of YouTube as well. So you guys know what it means when we start a new football week, right? We got to give one free month of Outlier to 2 different people. All you got to do, leave a comment below and like the video. That's it. Pretty simple. We'll pick 2 random people. You get 1 free month. If you don't know much about Outlier, you guys know the drill. I mean, this is one of the best tools you can have if you want to be profitable long term. It's incredible. It's a one-stop shop for all your betting research. You got multiple sports on there. Instead of going to all these different websites and everything, this can give you hit rates. It can give you everything you possibly need, where the line is moved, where the money's coming in at, etc., etc. It's awesome. You guys have seen it. So if you see anything in these football videos, they're from the Outlier app. So let's get into it. And that means I don't have a fun fact because I was too upset over what just happened on Thursday Night Football. I didn't get a fun fact in here. So I'll give you 2 on the Friday night player props video. But in this video, we're going to recap Thursday Night Football, even though I don't want to. And then we're going to go over those Week 7 trends. That's right. We give out trends every single week. Last week, they went 6-5. So 2 winning weeks in a row. We'll take it. And then we'll go over our best game bets for Week 7, a trends parlay. Let's see if we can get that winner. And we'll finish it with the recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below. Help this channel grow. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, as I think we can hit 30,000 subscribers by this weekend. It's crazy to even say out loud. Thank you guys for the support. I really appreciate it. But let's get into it, and that means it's recap time. All right, I'm going to try to hold it together here, but like I said, I'm frustrated, guys. Bo Nix over 191.5 passing yards. I think he had about 140 at halftime, and then it became an absolute blowout. I saw it coming. Again, it's one of those games was what, a 2.5-point spread, and we lose a prop because of a blowout. In a competitive game, Bo Nix goes for 225 plus. I talked to somebody in the comments where I thought about going pass and rush yards. I wish I did. I think he would have cashed that one, but just brutal. I don't know what to tell you. The read was there, just the game script was not. Juwan Johnson over 25.5 receiving yards. He had 18 yards. He had 6 targets. 6. And he couldn't get 26. That's right. It was unbelievable. Radler was terrible. The Saints were terrible. Just frustrating, and that's why we do half-unit plays. But we got to be better. It's not acceptable. I'm frustrated. So we're going to bounce back this weekend. We're going to have a good weekend. Season record, there it is. Because of the last 4 on Monday night and Thursday Night Football took us down a couple more units. Still up 1.41, but it's got to be better. That's not good enough. We're early in the year, but let's bounce back. That is the Thursday Night Football recap. And now let's talk some trends. All right, here we go. Week 7 trends are here. Like I said, 6-5 last week. Let's see if they can have another winning week. These should be a part of your handicap, not the only reason you make the bet. But Patriots 3-16-1 ATS last 20 games is an underdog of 7 or less. If you take that one, that means you have to take the Jags minus 5.5. Yuck on both sides. Detroit and Minnesota have gone over in 5 straight meetings. Total in that one is 50.5. Minnesota is now the second team to start 5-0 ATS in the first half and full game. If you take that, it's minus 0.5 in the first half or minus 1.5 over the Lions. Seahawks 5-1 to the over this season because our defense absolutely sucks. Total 50.5. Texans 14-6 to the under in the last 20 regular season games. If you take that over or you take the under, it's at 47.5. Bills 1-6 ATS in their last 7 games as a favorite of 7 or more, and they are a huge 9.5-point favorite this weekend. Giants under a 9 of the last 11 games. 43 is that total against the Eagles. Browns under their team total in all 6 games this season, 18.5. It hasn't been pretty, but we're going to talk about those Browns later. Dolphins 0-6 straight up and against the spread in their last 6 games as an underdog. If you like that one, you take the Colts minus 3. Carolina and Washington, a combined 10-2 to the over this season. Just big-time over teams. And you see it in the total, 51.5 is that total. Rams under their team total in 4 of 5 games this season. Their team total is 24.5 against the Raiders. And then Mahomes, 11-1-1 against the spread as an underdog since he became quarterback of the Chiefs. If you like that one, you take the Chiefs, obviously. But it's crazy. It's going to be a good game. But San Fran is -1.5. Steelers 17-6-4 ATS as a home underdog under Mike Tomlin. If you like that, Pittsburgh +2.5. So that's page 1. Take a screenshot. Now let's go check out page 2. All right, here's page 2. These don't count towards the official trends record, but I think these are some good numbers to kind of go over and just to know, or maybe it's just fun facts because I like this kind of stuff. But NFC North is absolutely dominating. 18-4 against the spread, 82%. Right now, so far through 6 weeks, that's the best for a division since 1990. Road favorites 9-0 straight up and 9-0 against the spread last week. 12-0 straight up and against the spread the last 2 weeks. Road favorites are absolutely dominating lately. First half overs are dominating, 60% clip, including 14-7 to the over in night games. This is the second best start for first half overs through 6 weeks in 20 years. How about that stat? Giants and Jets are combined 4-31 straight up playing at night in prime time. That's just, I don't even get it. There's just something going on there in New York. But the Jets will be playing on prime time this weekend. Betting Public, we give you this update every single week. The Betting Public absolutely crushed it last week. Finally, their first winning week, going 10-3-1. The books got beat pretty bad. Betting Public obviously is 51% or more of the tickets, but they're now 38-49-3 against the spread, which is now the 4th worst record through 6 weeks in 20 years. It was the worst as of last week. And this is just a crazy stat I wanted to share about Will Levis. 158 quarterbacks have started at least 10 NFL games in the past 20 years. Will Levis's 2-12 mark against the second half spread is the worst in terms of win percentage out of all 158 quarterbacks. He's actually 9-5 against the spread in the first half, and then he comes out and just absolutely sucks in the second half. Just something to look into for a little Titans second half spread type of bet. But anyway, that's all the stats. This season, 37-38. That's the last season record, and that's all the trends. And now it's time for the best bets. All right, this first one takes us out to the nation's capital where the Commanders host the Carolina Panthers. Commanders -8. Total in this one is 51.5. It's all business. I am locked in. I want to get some winners. We're going right to the best bet. It is the Commanders team total over 29.5. Yes, that's a big number. -130 on DraftKings. Love getting it under 30. 30 is one of those key numbers. But 1 unit play. All these are going to be 1 unit plays for me. I know it seems crazy to take a team total over 29.5, but let's just talk about this and you'll realize it's actually not that crazy. The Commanders offense averaging 29.7 points per game. This is just an average game for them. They're second most points in the entire NFL. That means we just need them to have an average game versus the worst defense in the NFL to cash this one. They just scored 23 against Baltimore. Much different matchup than the Carolina Panthers. They will be able to do whatever the heck they want against the Carolina defense. Panthers defense, now, you may spit your coffee out or your drink out or whatever, but this is true. The Panthers have now given up 34 or more points in 3 straight games. 38 to Atlanta, 36 to the Bears, 34 to the Bengals. Guess whose offense has been better in all 3 of those? The Commanders. Why wouldn't the number 2 offense in the NFL just hit 30 here at home? That's all I need. 30th in rush yards allowed for the Panthers D. 23rd in pass yards allowed, mostly because teams are running on them when they're up by a lot in the second half. Carolina opponents have scored a touchdown on 75% of their red zone drives. It's just absolutely insane. No team has given up more points in the NFL this year than the Carolina Panthers. 33.8 points per game. I just need 30 again. Carolina has absolutely no clue how to get pressure on a quarterback. I mean, it is bad. Daniels should be able to do anything he wants whenever he wants. This is the number 2 offense in the league, averaging around 30, playing a defense giving up around 34. I just think Jaden Daniels, if he wants to run it, I think Brian Robinson might be back. He could have a big game. I just think they're going to be able to do absolutely whatever they want. They're going to bounce back here after the loss against the Ravens, which was more defense related than offense related. So give me the Commanders team total over 29.5 as my first best bet. All right, who is ready for a little tease? That's right, it's the second one of the year. 6-point teaser. Chiefs +7.5, Lions +7.5. Put those together, get -120 on DraftKings for 1 unit. Now, if you don't know what teasers are, These are numbers where you're taking 6 points and taking it in your favor. So these lines, Chiefs plus 1.5 and Lions plus 1.5, you're adding 6 to both. You get minus 120 on DraftKings. If you want to look for it, you actually just click the regular lines, the plus 1.5 for both. And then when you go to that, you click on teaser, 6 point, and DK should have minus 120 for every 6 point teaser in football. Some books go up to minus 140. I would not play a teaser up to that. But the key for teasers is you want to go through the key numbers. If you have 1.5, now we're going through 3, 4, 6, 7. And now we're getting 7.5. So it's just a big advantage there. And we're taking two of the best teams in the entire NFL to just lose by 7 or less. That's it. So I absolutely love this one. Minus 120. Let's talk Chiefs plus 7.5 first. Like we just talked about, Mahomes as an underdog is absolutely unreal. It's like he just absolutely hates being an underdog. 11-1-1 ATS, 10-3 straight up in those games. I obviously think they have a good chance to win in this game. They're facing the San Francisco 49ers. I think this game goes down to the wire. Getting a touchdown is huge. But 49ers offensive injuries, Jordan Mason questionable, Debo questionable, Juwan Jennings questionable. They're on their backup kicker. Chiefs injuries, Juju, and then that's pretty much it other than the obvious. Rashee Rice and Isaiah Pacheco, who have been out for a little while already. 49ers love to run the ball. It's going to be a little tougher here. Chiefs have been really good against the run, 5th fewest yards per game, allowing the 4th fewest yards per attempt on the ground. And now the 49ers may be on their 3rd string running back as well. So the 49ers don't have all their weapons. No one's healthy. I'm not going to say no one's healthy. All of their weapons aren't healthy is what I'm trying to say. And now they're going up against one of the best defenses in the entire NFL in the Kansas City Chiefs. It's Patrick Mahomes. This 49ers team has not looked as dominant as in the last couple of years. Now, they may get there. Yes, they looked good offensively last week, but take that with a grain of salt. It was against my Seahawks, and they can't do anything right now on defense. So getting the Chiefs plus 7.5 is I just absolutely love it because I think, like I said, it's going to go right down to the wire. I think Chiefs have a great chance to win this game, but all I need is for them to lose by 7 or less to cash that one. Second one, Lions plus 7.5. Yes, losing Aiden Hutchinson, that was, first of all, hard to watch, but also just a tough blow for them. But he's a pass rusher. It doesn't change the entire scope of the game. This is still a top 3 team in the NFL. Getting over a touchdown for them is hard to pass up. This is not a team that gets blown out or anything because of how good they are in the trenches. The Vikings haven't lost to the Lions haven't lost to the Vikings by 8 or more points since 2020. Divisional games are played pretty tightly. Vikings defense has been pretty good against the run. I'm not going to lie. They've been elite. 3rd fewest rush yards per attempt in the NFL, but they've struggled versus the pass. 30th versus the pass. Jordan Love threw for almost 400 on him. Purdy threw for over 300 yards. I think they can get beat through the air. I think Jared Goff and this passing offense, that's the beauty of this Lions offense. They can run the ball, pass the ball, whatever they need to do based on what the defense is giving them. Lions offense, so this run game will be able to be successful because they are one of the best in the entire NFL. They're a different animal when it comes to being on the ground. So it's kind of strength on strength here. But like I said, just well balanced. I think Goff and these wide receivers have a good game in this one. And even though the Vikings are the only undefeated team left this season, 3 of their 5 wins is still been by 6 points or less. They're not exactly dominating. I expect a top 3 team in the NFL and the Lions to keep this one close. But let's talk about the Vikings offense real quick. They're still bottom 12 in both run and pass yards per game this season. I mean, it's not like they're lighting it up. I'm not saying they're a bad offense, but they just have not been lighting it up. They now face one of the best run defenses in the league in Detroit, allowing the 7th fewest rush yards per attempt. They should be able to move the ball a little bit with Justin Jefferson and through the air here, but I still think this is going to go down to the wire. Close game here. In Minnesota is a tough place to play, but Detroit does it all the time. They play well there. They keep the games close, like I've said in the past matchups. So overall, we're getting 2 of the best teams, the Chiefs and the Lions, to just lose by 7 or less when I think they could both just win the game straight up. So sign me up. 6-point teaser, Lions, Chiefs plus 7.5 as my second best bet. All right, here we go. Plug your nose. This is gonna get ugly. The Browns are hosting the Cincinnati Bengals in the Battle of Ohio. Bengals minus 5.5. Total in this one is 41.5. We're gonna get right into the best bet on this one. I'm sorry. You don't have to tail this, but I am buying a half point. Give me the Brownies plus 6 at minus 116 on DraftKings when I bought that extra half point. I think 6 is a huge number, obviously, in football. 1 unit play. If you want to take 5.5, I don't mind it. So, because I do think the Browns have a chance to win, it's hard to say out loud. Let's just talk through this. Again, these are just what I love. If you guys don't like the bet, you don't have to tail. But tailing the Browns and Deshaun Watson can be a little tough. That's for sure. It's not for the faint of heart, but what have the Bengals really done to deserve being a 6-point favorite on the road versus a good defense? That's the other thing about it. They were just tight with the Giants. It was a 3-point game all the way to the end. Giants didn't have their number 1 receiver in Neighbors. This Bengals team has been a bottom 5, bottom 7 defense in the NFL through 6 weeks. They had to hold on a little earlier to beat the Panthers by 10. And the Panthers are a team getting blown out by everybody. This Bengals team, it just seems like it's, at least at this point of the season, to be favored by 6 points over a team that's like not the Panthers or maybe Raiders, it just seems like a little much. Divisional games are different. And here's the other thing. The Browns have absolutely owned Cincy. They've won 6 straight games against Cincy in Cleveland. That's right. And those kind of matchups mean something when it's in divisional games. You see it all the time where one team owns the other team and they just match up well against them. So this Cleveland defense not going to be surprised by Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. They know how to defend them. They've done it before. It's just a tougher matchup for the Bengals. Plus, Nick Chubb is making his return, it looks like. So if you don't know Nick Chubb, guys, he's the best offensive player on this team by a mile. He's just unbelievable. He's been practicing since week 5, I think. And they said he looks pretty good, so we're just going to take his word for it. But they need a little spark on offense. Yes, they lost Amari Cooper. I don't really care. I'm going to be honest. He was inconsistent as a receiver. I don't think a receiver changes it drastically, at least a guy like Amari Cooper. Some receivers do. But if the Browns can get the running game going a little bit, you will actually see Deshaun's job get a little bit easier. Again, I know Deshaun sucks. I know it. I understand it. But this is a team that just went into Philly and lost by 4 and played them tight. So this isn't a team just getting blown out by 25 or 30 or anything. The defense is still their strength. And speaking of their defense, it's been better at home. It was way better at home last year, and it's better at home this year. They've allowed the 10th fewest yards allowed at home this year. Average in the NFL, giving up about 195.5 passing yards per game at home. And remember that this is a defense that has been doing all this with an inept offense. If they can get any sort of running game, get a little bit more rest on the sideline, have a little bit more balanced attack, I think they're going to be even better because it does take its toll, obviously, on a defense when the offense is struggling. So to me, it's an ultimate buy low spot for the Browns. And I don't think the Bengals are in a position right now to be winning by 7 or more against teams, or at least with the line. Browns' advantages, they're going to have a better run game if Nick Chubb can run the ball. They should have a little bit better run game. They have a better defense in this one. They're at home. They have owned this matchup. Again, I think they got a chance to win. Call me crazy. The Browns could come out and just lay an egg and make me look like an idiot. But I'm going to take the Brownies +6 and have a chance to win outright. That is my third and final best bet. And now let's check out the Trends Parlay. All right, it's that time to get a Trends Parlay winner. This isn't official. I'm going to throw a half unit on it, though. What we do is we take 3 trends from earlier in the video. We try to get 3 winners from it and put it together. We're due for a win. We've hit 2 or 3 legs like 3 weeks in a row. It's time. So here we go. Give me the under 43 Eagles Giants, over 50.5 Seahawks Falcons, and the Colts on the money line. Let's just talk the trend and just a quick analysis on each one. Under 43 Eagles Giants. I'm going to be honest. I almost made this a best bet. So I actually really do like this. Giants have gone under in 9 of the last 11 games. That is the trend we are following here. The analysis. Well, the Giants suck. Now let's just say that on offense. But I don't trust either offense. Neighbors is questionable still with that concussion protocol. But here's the biggie. Tackle Andrew Thomas for the Giants just went to the IR. That is a huge loss for their offensive line. Singletary questionable. You just saw them score 7 points at home to the Cincinnati Bengals defense. It's just not pretty on offense. I don't see them scoring a lot. Eagles, Goddard may be out for this game. They're still just 19th in points per game. No matter what Sirianni says, this team is just off. They just are. They're just not the same offensively. Passing game hasn't been great. O-line's been inconsistent. I think the Giants can get some pressure on Hurts here, and I just think we have a grinded-out, lower-scoring game. Divisional game, I see a 2017 type game. So give me the under in that one. Second one, over 50.5. With the Seahawks and Falcons. Seahawks 5-1 to the over the season. That is the trend we're following. Let's talk about this one. The Seahawks defense has been awful. The first 3 games of the year, they played absolutely nobody at quarterback. I mean, they were like third string quarterbacks. And the offensive passing game has looked good. Geno is the league leader in passing yards per game for a reason. Hawks aren't struggling to stop the run. They're struggling to get pressure. They're struggling to really just do anything against a competent offense. And this offense in the Falcons is absolutely humming. How about 26, 36, and 38 points the last 3 weeks? Bijan and Algier could have some big games here. Everyone could have big games here. But Hawks offense, even if A.J. Terrell slows down DK a little bit, they still got JSN. They still got Tyler Lockett. Kenneth Walker's look good on the ground. So I think in a dome, we see a lot of points here. Give me the over 50.5. Third one, Colts money line. Now, we could have done Colts -3. I'm going to play a little safer here, but the trend is the Dolphins are 0-6 straight up in the last 6 games as an underdog. There's also 0-6 against the spread last 6 games as an underdog. Analysis, I'm not going to go too much into it. This game sucks. Colts, Miami. You got to be kidding me. But Miami is just so bad. Huntley is terrible. I know they're just coming off a bye. He's just not the answer for them. I don't know what Coach McDaniel's doing. He just doesn't know how to make adjustments, I guess, with other quarterbacks. But the Colts have been more competitive lately. I'd be shocked if they lost this game at home to a Dolphins team that's just really struggled. Dolphins have not scored more than 14 points since week 1. Sorry, Dolphins have not scored more than 15 points since week 1. That is absolutely insane. Colts are battling. They're competitive. They're 3-3. I think at home here, this is a must. This is one of those must-win games. When you have a chance at home to beat a Dolphins team that is just absolutely terrible right now, you got to take advantage of it. I think the Colts get the job done. And that's all I got for that game because it is absolutely ugly. So Colts money line over 50.5, Seahawks Falcons, and the under 43 Eagles Giants, which again, that first one almost made a best bet of mine. So that's the trends parlay. Let's get a winner. We don't have any side dishes, which are just some other leans and all that kind of stuff. I'll probably drop some maybe in the pinned comments or anything if I have any other leans. And of course, any added plays will be in the pinned comments on X and on Discord with all those NFL player props coming out on Friday night. So thanks for watching. Before we get out of here, let's check out the recap. All right, there it is. Let's get some freaking winners. Commanders team total over 29.5, minus 130 on DraftKings for 1 unit. 6-point teaser. Chiefs plus 7.5, Lions plus 7.5, minus 120 on DK for a unit. And then the Browns plus 6. That's right, the disgusting bet of the weekend. Minus 116 on DraftKings. I did buy that half point to get to the 6. That is a 1 unit play. And then the trends parlay, I'm going to put a half unit on it. Not official, of course. But under 43 Eagles Giants, sorry, over 50.5 Seahawks Falcons. And then the Colts on the money line. Any added plays in the pinned comments below on X and on Discord. I'm ready for a big weekend. I am. I just feel it coming. I'm not going to let that Thursday mojo and what just happened ruin it. Let's have a great weekend. If you haven't already, hit that like button. Leave a comment below if you want a chance to win that 1 free month with OUTLIER. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Hope you have a good one, and we'll talk to you soon.